Hello everyone, I welcome you all to my online classes. This is Om Maths Corner. Today we shall discuss limits and derivatives for the students of class 11 subject mathematics. The very first topic, limits. So let us proceed now.
Limits and derivatives exercise 13.1. This is part second of the video. In the previous video we have already discussed question number 1 to question number 6. Okay, all these questions they were discussed in part 1 of the video. Today the onward questions, question 7 and onward questions we are going to discuss here. The very first question, question number 7 is evaluate limit x approaches to 2, 3x square minus x minus 10 whole divide x square minus 4. So first of all we substitute directly x is equal to 2. Then what happens, this is equal to 3 into 2 square minus 2 minus 10 divide 2 whole square minus 4, which is equal to 2 2s are 4, 4 into 3 12, 12 minus 12 0, 0 divide 0 form. So my dear students, what we say, 0 divide 0 form or 0 raised to power 0 or 0 raised to power infinity or infinity is raised to power 0 or infinity raised to power infinity. Okay, all these forms are called indeterminate forms. Indeterminate forms. What is the meaning of indeterminate forms? In case of limit, the questions, whenever we are dealing such forms, then we change the path of solving the questions. We change the method of solving the questions. Here, direct substitution we do not apply. Do not apply direct substitution. Okay, so what we know now, if we get these indeterminate forms, out of these indeterminate forms, it means do not substitute directly the value of x. Okay, now what we should do, the other method we have to think about. In this question just we can have the factors. So what we can write here, this is equal to limit x approaches to 2, 3x square minus x minus 10. How to make the factors? Okay, we can write this 3x square minus 6x plus 5x minus 10 divide x square minus 4 mean x minus 2 into x plus 2. Okay, in the numerator we have limit x approaches to 2, taking 3x common, so we have x minus 2 plus 5 into x minus 2 whole divide x minus 2 into x plus 2, right? So what we have now, this is equal to limit x approaches to 2, taking x minus 2 common factor, so we are left with 3x plus 5 divide x minus 2 into x plus 2, right? Now what we see, in the numerator x minus 2, in the denominator x minus 2 is cancelled, so only we are left with limit x approaches to 2, 3x plus 5 divide x plus 2, right? So this way we see that the factor x minus 2 was the reason which was making the given question, which was making this function into 0 upon 0 form. So we have, so we are left with 3x plus 5 upon x plus 2. Here we put x is equal to 2. This becomes 3 into 2 plus 5. Divide 2 plus 2. 3 into 2 6 plus 5 11 upon 4. So this 11 upon 4 is the limit of the given function. Right? Now next question is question number 8. Question is limit x approaches to 3 x raised to power 4 minus 81 divide 2x square minus 5x minus 3. So first of all, if we directly substitute x equal to 3, then let us see what happens. 3 into 3 9, 9 into 9 81 minus 81 0. Divide 3 into 3 9, 9 into 2 18, 18 3 into 5, 3 into 5 15, 15 minus 3 minus 18 plus 18 minus 18, this is also equal to 0. So 0 upon 0 form we get 0 upon 0 form on direct substitution. So mean to say this is the indeterminate form. So direct substitution we have to avoid this. What we should do now? Factorization. So how to make the factors? Limit x approaches to 3, we can say this is equal to x square, its whole square, minus 81 mean 9 whole square. So we shall follow here the method factorization. A square minus b square is equal to a minus b into a plus b. In place of a we are taking x square, in place of b we are taking 9. So the factors, they will become x square minus 9 into x square plus 9, right? In the denominator 2 into 3 minus 6. Okay, so we write 2x square minus 6x plus 1x minus 3 is okay. So this way this is equal to limit x approaches to 3. According to this, the factors are x square minus 9 into x square plus 9. Divide, here taking 2x common, we are left with x minus 3 plus 1 into x minus 3. Further, here the same method, x square minus 9, we can say x square minus 3 whole square. So this becomes x minus 3 into x plus 3. So we follow this factorization. Limit x approaches to 3, x minus 3 into x plus 3 into x square plus 9. So numerator is this. In the denominator we have x minus 3, the common factor, into 2x plus 1. Right? Now what we see in this question, x minus 3, x minus 3, this is the common in numerator and denominator. So this was making the function into 0 upon 0 form. So we have cancelled this now. Now after cancelling, we can directly substitute x equal to 3 in the function. So what happens now? If we directly substitute x equal to 3, 3 plus 3 into 3 3 whole square equal to 9 plus 9 whole divide 2x plus 1, 2 into 3 6 plus 1. So we say 3 plus 3 6 into 9 plus 9 18 upon 6 plus 1 7. So 108 divide 7 is the limit of the given function. Now proceeding towards the next question, question number 9. Question number 9 statement is evaluate the limit x approaches to 0, ax plus b divide cx plus 1. Okay, now first step is we should directly substitute x equal to 0. Then let us see what happens a into 0 plus b divide c into 0 plus 1. So this becomes b. So our question is solved. B is the limit. Okay, so next question. The statement is question number 10. Evaluate the limit z approaches to 1, z raised to power 1 upon 3 minus 1 whole divide z raised to power 1 upon 6 minus 1. Okay, on direct substitution what happens, let us see. Directly we put z is equal to 1, then 1 minus 1 0. In the denominator also 1 minus 1 0. So we have 0 upon 0 form. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is direct substitution is not allowed. So factorization, the very first method we have seen that we should have the factorization if we can. Let us see z raised to power 1 upon 3 minus 1. What we do here, we can write this as z raised to power 1 upon 6 and its whole power 2 minus 1. Okay, 2 upon 6, that is 1 upon 3, there is no change. 1 we can write 1 square. Okay, this is equal to this. Why we are doing this? Because we are interested to make the factors like this. A square minus b square is equal to a minus b into a plus b, right? So a square b square. What is a? A is equal to z raised to power 1 upon 6. And what is b? B is equal to 1. So a minus b into a plus b. So we are writing here this is equal to limit z approaches to 1 a minus b, that means z raised to power 1 upon 6 minus 1 into a plus b z raised to power 1 upon 6 plus 1 whole divide z raised to power 1 upon 6 minus 1. Okay, now this is clear that numerator and denominator, this one common factor we can cancel. This is the reason, this was the reason, this was making the whole function into 0 upon 0 form. So if we cancel this factor, so what is left? We write here limit z approaches to 1, z raised to power 1 upon 6 plus 1. Now let us put directly z is equal to 1. So this becomes 1 raised to power 1 upon 6 upon plus 1. So what is this? This is equal to 1 plus 1, which is equal to 2. So this way we can find the limit of the given function. Okay, in earlier in the very beginning, if we directly put z is equal to 1, then we cannot find the answer, we cannot reach the towards the limit. Okay, so one method, this method is factorization, cancellation. So this way we can solve the question. Now next question. Question number 11. What is this? Evaluate the limit x approaches to 1, ax square plus bx plus c whole divide cx square plus bx plus a. So the very first thing is, let us try to substitute directly x equal to 1 in the function. What happens? This is equal to a into 1 whole square plus b into 1 plus c divide c into 1 whole square plus b into 1 plus a. So this becomes a plus b plus c. In the denominator this is c plus b plus a plus b plus c, a plus b plus c cancelling. So 1 is the answer, 1 is the limit of the given function. Next, question number 12. Evaluate limit x approaches to 2, 1 upon x plus 1 upon 2 whole divide x plus 2. And the same thing what we are doing, directly we are substituting x is equal to 2 in the function. This becomes 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2 whole divide x is 2, 2 plus 2. So what this is, 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2, this is equal to 1. Half plus half is 1 upon 2 plus 2 is 4. So 1 upon 4 is the limit of the given function. This is the answer. Next question now. By mistake I have taken 2 as the limit. The question is x approaches to minus 2. So what happens? this is now 1 upon minus 2, right? So here also minus 2. So this way minus 2 minus 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 2, 0 upon 0 form. Okay, this is 0 upon 0 form. So what is the meaning of this? Direct substitution is not allowed. If direct substitution is not allowed, then what we should do? We write it as limit x approaches to minus 2, taking LCM, this becomes 2 plus x divide 2x, this is the numerator, whole divide x plus 2, right? So this becomes limit x approaches to minus 2. We can write this as x plus 2 whole divide 2x will be multiplied here with this term x plus 2. Now x plus 2 x plus 2, this is cancelled. Why this is cancelled? Because we are just approaching towards minus 2, x is not equal to minus 2. So what we are left with now, this is equal to limit x approaches to minus 2, 1 upon 2x. Now in place of x we put minus 2, 1 upon 2 in place of x minus 2. So minus 1 upon 4 is the limit to this question, right? Now next question. Question number 13. Evaluate limit x approaches to 0, sine of ax upon bx. So here my dear students, we have seen the formula. What was that? Standard result, limit x approaches to 0, sine of x divide x, the value is equal to 1. In the previous video we have discussed this in detail. So how here we are proceeding towards the result. This is equal to limit x approaches to 0, we write here sine of ax. Okay, here in place of bx we are writing ax. A is divided, so here we are multiplying a, and this b goes here, right? Now what happens? As x approaches to 0, this implies multiplying both sides with a, so ax also approaches to 0. So according to this rule, the value of this is also like this 1. So this becomes 1 into a upon b. So finally we have a upon b as the limit of the given function. Okay, now next question. Question number 14. Evaluate the limit x approaches to 0, sine of ax whole divide sine of bx, where a and b is not equal to 0. Here again what we do, we follow the standard result. What was that? Limit x approaches to 0, sine of x divide x is equal to 1. This is the standard result. We shall follow this result to solve this question. So what we should do here, we have limit x approaches to 0. In the numerator we write sine of ax, just we divide by ax and multiply by ax. Okay, so this is the numerator. Also in the denominator we do the same thing. We write it as limit x approaches to 0, sine of bx divide bx into bx, right? So this is what we have done here. Okay, now what happens? As x approaches to 0, ax also approaches to 0, right? So in numerator, sine ax upon ax becomes equal to 1. So what we write, this is equal to limit x approaches to 0, this whole becomes 1 into ax. Okay, divided by, likewise here, as x approaches to 0, bx also approaches to 0. So denominator also becomes to 0, becomes 1, the first factor. So this is 1 into bx. So finally we have limit x approaches to 0, ax divide bx, right? X is cancelled, so what we are left with, a upon b. So a upon b is the limit of the given function, right? Now next question. Question number 15. Evaluate the limit x approaches to pi sine of pi minus x whole divide pi into pi minus x. So what to do now? Okay. So here in previous questions we have seen that x approaches to 0 was the limit. Okay. So in such questions when x approaches to, in place of 0 some real number is mentioned, so what we do, just in place of arrow x minus we put minus sign is equal to h. Mean to say this difference is very small quantity equal to h. This is not equal to 0, just approximately equal to 0, very close to 0. This h, this difference is very small. So also we write as x approaches to pi, in place of x if we put pi, then what happens, h is equal to pi minus pi 0. So this means h approaches to 0. So this substitution we shall apply to solve the question, right? We also write here as we put x minus pi is equal to h, it means x is equal to pi plus h. So accordingly this question becomes limit x approaches to pi mean h approaches to 0. So main the work we did here to make this this equal to 0, h approaches to 0, we have converted this way, right? So in numerator sign of this is pi minus x, pi minus x, x is pi plus h, so pi plus h. In the denominator again pi into pi minus x mean pi plus h, right? So now we can do here limit h approaches to 0 sine of pi minus pi minus h divide, here also pi into pi minus pi minus h. So this becomes limit h approaches to 0 sine of pi minus pi cancelled minus h divide, here also pi into pi cancelled minus h, right? So sine of minus theta is equal to minus sine theta, so what we can say, limit h approaches to 0 sine of h minus sine of h divide minus pi h, right? Minus minus is cancelled, so 1 upon pi we can take this outside, we are left with limit h approaches to 0 sine of h divide h. So we see that this is the standard result, the value of this is 1, so 1 upon pi, 1 upon pi is the final value to this question, the limit of the given function. Now question number 16. Evaluate the limit x approaches to 0 cos of x divide pi minus x. The very first thing we have to insert x equal to 0 in the function. So what happens, cos 0 divide pi minus 0. We know that cos 0 is 1, so 1 upon pi, we have got the answer. This is the limit of the given function. Now next question. Question number 17. Evaluate the limit x approaches to 0 cos 2x minus 1 divide cos of x minus 1. The very first thing, direct substitution, x equal to 0, then cos into 2, cos of 2 into 0, cos 0 which is equal to 1, 1 minus 1 0. In the denominator also cos 0 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, so 0 upon 0 form. What is the meaning of this 0 upon 0 form? The meaning is this is indeterminate form. So direct substitution is stopping us to solve the question like this. The other method we have to follow. Now what how we can factorize this? This is impossible because factors are not easy to make. So one other method, I know the formula cos of 2 theta, this is equal to we can say 2 cos square theta minus 1. One more I know, cos 2 theta, we can write this as 1 minus 2 sine square of theta. So out of these two I get this second one. From here we can say, what we can say, taking this 2 sine square theta to left hand side, 2 sine square theta, this becomes 1 minus cos of 2 theta, right? Now from this we get, first of all, in place of theta we put 2 theta, we put x. So what we say, 1 minus cos 2x, we can write this as 2 sine square of x, right? Second time, in place of theta we just put 2 theta, we put x. Here 2 theta was 2x. Second time we put 2 theta is equal to x to make the denominator, right? Then what happens, numerator here left hand side, that becomes 1 minus cos x is equal to 2 half angle 2 sine square of x upon 2, right? 2 sine square x upon 2, if we put 2 theta is equal to x. So like this we are solving the question. This becomes limit x approaches to 0, cos 2x, we can write this as taking minus common, 1 minus cos 2x divide minus taking common 1 minus cos of x. So minus minus is cancelled, so we have limit x approaches to 0, 1 minus cos 2x mean 2 sine square x, 2 sine square of x. In the denominator this is 2 sine square of x upon 2. So this way the two terms they are converted into single term. Now again what we see, 2 is cancelled. So in the next step, how we are proceeding, see here, limit x approaches to 0, sine square x mean we can write it as sine x upon x into x, its whole square. Okay, sine square x divided by x multiplied by x, there is no problem. Likewise in the denominator also we do the same process. Limit x approaches to 0, this was sine x upon 2, we divided by x upon 2 and multiplied by x upon 2, and because of this square symbol we took square, whole square, right? Now again we say, what we say, that as x approaches to 0, as x approaches to 0, it means x upon 2 also approaches to 0. So this part, this becomes equal to 1. Here in the numerator this also becomes equal to 1, right? So how we are proceeding further, we are writing this as, this is equal to limit x approaches to 0. In the numerator we are left with only x, its whole square is x square, and in the denominator this is also equal to 1, so we are left with x upon 2, its whole square, which becomes x square upon 4. So further we can write this as limit x approaches to 0, x square, this 4 will go here in the numerator, 4 upon x square cancelled, only 4 is the limit to the given question. right? So this was our question number 17. Here once again I want to mention that 1 minus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 sin square theta. This value is very important. From here we can find this result 1 minus cos 2x is equal to 2 sin square x, as well as this result is also derived 1 minus cos of x is equal to 2 sin square x upon 2. So these two derived derivations, the formulae, they are very important what we have applied here in this step and in this step to find the limit of the given function, right? So this was question number 17. Now we proceed towards next question. Question number 18. What is the question? Evaluate the limit x approaches to 0, ax plus x into cos x divide b into sin of x. First of all, if we directly substitute x is equal to 0, let us see what happens. A into 0 plus 0 into something 0, numerator is 0, divide, sin 0 is 0, so 0 upon 0 form. What is the meaning of this? We have the indeterminate form, mean to say direct substitution is not allowed in this case. So what we should do? Alternate method, different method to solve this question we have to follow. So what we should do here? Just here in the denominator we need divided by x, so that we can follow this result limit x approaches to 0, sin of x divide x is equal to 1. Okay, so from this this is the target. So we have limit x approaches to 0, we write in the denominator what we write, sin of x divide x, mean to say denominator is divided by x, so in numerator we have also to divide by x. So here this becomes ax upon x plus x into cos of x divide x. So because in numerator and denominator everything we have to do the same. Okay, if we are dividing by some number, then we have to divide numerator also. If we are multiplying with some number, we have to multiply in numerator and denominator as well. So now what happens, this ax upon x is cancelled, here x is cancelled. So next what we are left with, we are writing this limit x approaches to 0, this is only x plus this is only cos of x. Okay, and in the denominator this is b into this whole, according to this, is reduced to 1, b into 1. Now again directly substituting x is equal to 0, then what is cos 0? Cos 0 is also 1, so we write a plus cos 0 divide b. So answer is a plus 1 divide b. So this is the limit to the given function. So this was question number 18. Now coming towards question number 19. Question number 19, we have evaluate the limit x approaches to 0, x into secant of x. We can write this question as limit x approaches to 0, x secant x mean 1 upon cos x, so x upon cos of x. Okay, now directly if we substitute x equal to 0, then what happens? 0 upon cos of 0. Now 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1, 0 upon 1, this is 0. So 0, this is the limit to this function. Okay, now next question number 20. The statement is evaluate the limit x approaches to 0, sin of ax plus bx whole divide ax plus sin of bx, where a comma b comma a plus b is not equal to 0. So how to solve this question? So once again we have the target limit x approaches to 0, sin of x divide x, the value is 1. So we also write as x approaches to 0, ax also approaches to 0. So this gives limit x approaches to 0, sin of ax upon ax, this result will also be equal to 1. Okay, similarly as x approaches to 0, bx also approaches to 0, so we say limit x approaches to 0, sine of bx divide bx is also equal to 1. So this way the same we are going to follow here. We write this is equal to limit x approaches to 0 sine ax. We divide just by ax and multiply by ax, nothing will happen, plus is bx. In the denominator also we do the same. This is ax plus, here we write sine of bx, we divide by bx and multiply by bx, right? Now according to this becomes 1, so we write limit x approaches to 0, this is 1, only we are left with ax. Next is plus bx. In the denominator also this is ax plus sin bx upon bx, this is according to this equal to 1, only bx is remaining. So numerator and denominator everything is the same, so we can cancel them, so we are left with 1. 1 is the limit to this question, to this function. Question number 21, evaluate the limit x approaches to 0 cosecant x minus cotangent x. Okay, so here we say limit x approaches to 0 cosecant x, we can write this as 1 upon sine of x. Likewise cotangent x can be written as cos of x divided sine of x. Okay, further we can say sin x is the same denominator taking LCM, so we have limit x approaches to 0 1 minus cos of x divide sine of x, right? Again the same factor that we did this in previous question. What was that? Cos 2 theta, that was equal to 1 minus 2 sine square theta. So from here we concluded 1 minus cos 2 theta is equal to 2 sine square theta. Thereafter in place of 2 theta we took 2 theta is equal to x. This means theta is equal to x upon 2. So what we have now, we write this as limit x approaches to 0 1 minus cos x, 1 minus cos x, that becomes 2 sine square theta is equal to x upon 2. So this is equal to 2 sine square of x upon 2, and denominator this is sine of x, right? Now next how we are proceeding, see, very important question. Limit x approaches to 0, 2 taking constant common, so we have sine of x upon 2 dividing by x upon 2 and multiplying by x upon 2, also taking square outside because of this square symbol. Okay, in the denominator also we do the same thing, sine of x dividing by x and multiplying by x. Okay, by doing this what happens that this becomes 1 and this becomes 1. So how we are writing now, this is equal to limit x approaches to 0, 2 is outside, so inside the bracket we have x square upon 4. In the denominator only single x is left, right? So this is again we can write limit x approaches to 0 2, this is x is cancelled, so x upon 2 is left. So now we put x equal to 0, what happens, 0 upon 2 which is again equal to 0, so 0 is the limit to this function. Question number 21, what is the limit of this function? 0. 0 is the limit. Now next question. Now question number 22, evaluate the limit x approaches to pi by 2 tangent of 2x whole divide x minus pi by 2. On substituting directly x equal to pi by 2, tangent 2 into pi by 2, that is tangent pi, which is equal to 0. So we have numerator 0. Again in the denominator pi by 2 minus pi by 2, again 0. 0 upon 0 form. indeterminate form, so we cannot obtain the limit by substituting directly. Other method we have to think of. Okay, what the other method we can do? I have already explained that we can change this arrow symbol into minus pi by 2 and we take this equal to h. Okay, from here we can conclude the value of x is pi by 2 plus h, right? So this way, as x approaches to pi by 2, that means as we put x equal to pi by 2, then what happens with h? H becomes 0. As x approaches to pi by 2, h tends to 0. So this substitution we apply now here in the question. So what happens? This is limit x approaches to pi by 2. In place of this we write h approaches to 0. Okay, in the numerator tangent of 2x, right? From here we can say 2x is equal to pi by 2 into 2, pi plus 2h. So we write here pi plus 2h. In the denominator x mean pi by 2 plus h. Next is minus pi by 2, right? So this way we have now what we know, pi plus something in third quadrant. Okay, after school to college, tangent, t mean tangent, after mean all the t ratios in first quadrant they are positive. Here sine and its reciprocal is positive. Here tangent and its reciprocal is positive. Here cos and its reciprocal is positive. In third quadrant tangent is positive. So what we write? This is equal to limit h approaches to 0, tangent 2h divide, this is cancelled, so only h is left. So one more result I remember. What is that? That sine of x divide x, right? Limit x approaches to 0, this is equal to 1, right? So what we do from this result, we say limit x approaches to 0, sine of x divide cos x into cos x divide x. What happens this way? This becomes limit x approaches to 0, sin x upon x, cos x is tangent x upon x, okay, into cos of x. Now we put x approaches to 0, so cos 0 is 1, so this is 1, this is also equal to 1. So this way the conclusion is limit tangent x upon x, this is also equal to 1, right? So what we say, this is limit h approaches to 0, tangent of 2h divide 2h into 2, because these two angles they should be same. To make them same, we divided by 2 and multiplied by 2. Okay, so this way this result gives us the value 1 into 2, so final result is 2. 2 is the limit of this function. So this was all to of this exercise, part number 2 of the video, exercise 13.1. So next questions we shall discuss in part number 3. So thank you for watching. Thank you very much.